All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. There's been a little bit of a hiatus. I went on vacation and then I got sick, and now I'm back. For those that followed a little bit, I went and bought the Sig Sauer P322. At the time, this was the newest one on the roster. Now there's a couple newer guns that are quite impressive and quite out of my budget, like the Staccato. Anyways, this is the P322. This is Sig Sauer's version of the 22 pistol. It's very similar to the 365, like the XL or the X Macro. I'll actually grab it just to show you comparison in size. Give me 1 second. So here is the 365 X Macro comp. Just to verify, clear. And to show you on this one, clear. They're both actually pretty filthy. Now, if you took off the light, you could see pretty similar size comparison. The grip is about the same. It's very, very similar in size. So one of my recommendations, why I would encourage to get one of these, besides it's a 22 and it's cheap to shoot, is this is actually a good training gun if you're trying to train with a similar gun to this. Obviously, this is heavier. This is quite a bit lighter, but there still is some heft to it. I do have a red dot on here. There's an optic plate, because this, I believe, I can't remember what optic plate adapter or what actually cut this is on this, but I'll put it up on the screen for those that are curious. But this is the adapter for the Holosun 507, right? Yeah, 507C. It fits good. When I bought the adapter, it actually included a spring, which I did put in. It's a little bit heavier of a spring, just because I think it would have been fine not switching the spring, but I swapped the spring out just because, with it being a lighter round like a 22, sometimes throwing an optic on there does make it malfunction. I haven't heard of many issues like that. It's just a potential possibility. So I went ahead and swapped it anyways. I am very happy with this. I probably put about, maybe 700 to 800 rounds through the gun itself. Shoots great, very, very easy to shoot, just like all 22s. Standard capacity magazines, well, standard magazines that come with the California model are 10 rounders. You can buy 10 rounders. If you're buying this out of state, in a free state, you can have 20 round magazines, which is very nice. The funny thing is, when I bought this, actually one of my brothers texted me. He sent me a photo of a TAC Ops model, if I remember correctly. And he was like, "Hey, what do you think about this?" And it was funny because I was like, "Well, I literally just picked mine up." So it was kind of funny that we were both on the same wavelengths in that moment. But his is the 20 round magazine. He lives out of state, and we actually went and shot him together because I was heading up there to visit for vacation. And in comparisons, they both worked great. One issue that he had, and actually both of us had a similar issue at first with a brand new magazine, the magazines were very, very stiff. Now when I push the button, they slide out unloaded. But it used to be like when I first got it, probably the first 20 times or so, when I pushed that button, they wouldn't shoot out. They'd sit right there. And you actually had to kind of had to grab it a little bit. Which now they don't, clearly. It's loosened up. It's worked its way out, which is good to know. He had the same exact issue with his, even with the 20 round mags. But both of them worked out over time. The other issue he had, which I think he probably put, I don't know, maybe 1,500 rounds because he shot it before I got up there. And then when I was up there, again, unloaded, but pointing at the camera. Some people have had some issues of like the brass, the copper buildup on the full metal jacket rounds. It will start building up here in the barrel, which could potentially lead to some issues when firing. I haven't had that issue with this one, but as I said, I've only put about 700, 800 rounds in it. That's one issue I saw with his, and I've heard of others having that same issue. Um, Besides that, this gun shoots great. Has a very ergonomic grip, especially compared to my 365 X Macro, which this is my EDC. I carry this every day. This is a great training tool. It's very similar to shoot, very low recoil, obviously, but very much cheaper. It's way cheaper to shoot compared to the 9. I can't remember the exact cost differences, but very well worth it for training. And these are fairly inexpensive. I think most places you're still picking these up for 850 before taxes, and this one I found 400 before taxes. So with taxes out the door, this was like five low 500s, which was great. Very cheap gun to shoot and very cheap gun in general. So I would definitely recommend it for training purposes. It's a great gun if you want to get something for your wife or your kids to start learning to shoot. Magazines function very easy to load. One issue my brother saw with the 20 rounders was, you'll pull this down and start throwing them in. The way the rounds actually stack in this, it kind of zigzags them. That way they feed correctly. On his, if he just pulled this all the way down and started throwing them in, they wouldn't, they wouldn't align correctly. And he had some feed issues with that. I never had that issue. I purposely was intending trying to do that with the 10 rounder, and never had that issue with the 10 round magazines. So this is my thoughts on the P322, Sig P322. Let me know what your guys' thoughts. If you think there's a better 22 out there, I do have some other 22s like the Buckmark, which again I love as well. But this is definitely a fun one to shoot, and again, it's optic ready, so I definitely recommend it. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Give me comments, give me likes, subscribe. Let me know what your thoughts are, and if you think it's worth it or not. Thanks for watching.